Sorry about that, people. I had the camera upside down. Let's see if I can get this going because I actually want to make a decent video here. Okay. Can you see me a little better today because the sunlight coming in? Actually, it's a bit on the cloudy side today. I asked a question. Excuse me. I asked a question on Facebook about what would you like to see me make videos about. And our daughter said one of the things, prank calls. I should do some more of those. But she also said prepping, and so I thought, I'll do a prepping video really fast. Um, I don't know where my copy of the book is, but it's like $5, $6, $7 for the book, and it's a small book, but I highly recommend it. It's called Poverty Prepping. And let me see. The author's name is Susan Gregerson. Susan Gregerson. And I will provide you a link. And the cost of the book is $5.39, which is more than reasonable in my opinion. Like I said, I don't know where my copy of the book is at the moment, so I'm not able to tell you everything that's in the book. But the one thing I remember, and this is what my wife and I were doing, it would be nice if we had $1 million and we could go out and buy case after case of MREs and case after case of canned food and bag after bag and box after box of dried food. But who has that kind of money? I think we're lucky that we even have some MREs. I bought one case quite a while ago, and that and some loose MREs that I don't even remember how we got them. But MREs, look, it's not the best stuff in the world, but for those who are old enough and who remember C rations, I think MREs are a lot better than the old C rations, and they're not as heavy, and you don't have to have a can opener or a little P38. I keep a P38 on my keychain. P38's actually. I'll show you what a P38 looks like. There's a P51 and a P38. One's larger than the other. Don't have my glasses on. I actually have to use reading glasses right now. Hey, this. The little thing comes out. And that's an old Army can opener. Old military can opener. And you had to have one of those to open those cans of C rations. Well, MRE, you don't have to do that. I mean, you could rip it open if you had to. But anyway, so, like I was saying, it'd be really nice if we had hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars to buy all sorts of prepping stuff. But nobody really has that. So, what do you do? What can you do to prep on a budget? Like the book says, spend $20 a month. If you can't afford $20 a month, spend $10 a month. Buy canned ravioli, spaghetti and meatballs, SpaghettiOs, stuff like that. Look, is that the most nutritious stuff in the world? No. Is it the best tasting stuff in the world? No. But it's definitely edible. You can always add seasonings to it. And if you don't have a can opener, you use a brick or cement and you rub the can against it and you can open a can that way. There are videos here on YouTube that show how to do that. But yeah, you put aside a certain amount of money each month, $10, $15, $20, $30, and you buy stuff that you're going to be able to use. Don't buy stuff you can't use or you don't know how you're going to use it, because then you're going to, if that time ever comes, if you ever have to have that stuff, and you'll have everything, but you won't know what to do with it. So you're going to be like, oh my, I'm hungry. Maybe you're not going to even like it if you do have it and you have plenty of it and you know what to do with it, but you don't like it. It doesn't taste good. You don't like the texture, the aroma, so you're not going to eat it. Another thing I recommend for some people, not everybody, and you want to be really careful with this. If this is 5-HTP. I don't remember how much this stuff costs. Every few months, I really don't buy it that often because it's not the cheapest stuff. But every few months I'll buy a bottle of this and a bottle of melatonin, which is cheaper than this. Well, the melatonin is actually about the same price or more expensive, but you get more pills with the melatonin than you get with a bottle of 5-HTP. The melatonin is for helping you sleep. 5-HTP is more of a mood stabilizer. Do not take this with medication. This kind of thing is to be used if you no longer have access to medication. This stuff right here can actually do you some harm, so be very careful. I want to make sure everybody understands that 5-HTP can actually harm your body, so be very careful, and don't take it with medicine. Take it if you don't have access to medicine for the foreseeable future, for a long time. Another thing, the reason this box is open is because I filled all my magazines, but it's 100 rounds of .223 ammunition. I think it was like between 35 and 40 bucks. I had it up here for the longest time. I mean, I bought it last year sometime. But, you know, every few months, buy one of these. My suggestion, oh, look, he's in my lap. Now he's on the floor. My suggestion is you buy one of these, 100 rounds, plus a box, a smaller box of 20, which is like $6. And there are two different brands in here, because this is a .223 round. They're very small. To me, what you want with this is self-defense. It's not really a good hunting round when it comes to deer, anything like that. You can use it for maybe coyotes, turkey. I wouldn't use it for anything bigger than that. I suggest for a good, cheap rifle with good, cheap ammunition is a Mosin Nagant. That's what we have up there. And, you know, it's like $100 for one of them rifles. And they are sturdy. I mean, they made them from the late 1800s until the late 1940s, almost 1950. The Russians used them in World War II. It's a bolt-action rifle, but it's equivalent of a .308, so you got some power there. And with a .308, you could take deer. I have a cousin up in Canada who took a bull moose with a .308. But anyway, this is a loaded magazine for an AR. I don't have a Mosin Nagant round with me to show you, but a Mosin Nagant round would be, can you tell, like, it would be like that compared to that. So, and it's larger diameter as well. But you know, I mean, Mosin Nagant definitely has takedown power. What, Lucky? Do you want up there? He's getting upset because his cousins, John and Maggie, are on the recliner, and he wants up. But anyway, um, I don't know if it's Mrs. or Miss Gregerson. Have two or three of her books. Here's one of them: Life Without Refrigeration. Not like we really have a lot to concern ourselves with up here. Our daughter, where she lives, and a friend of mine out in California, she was telling me yesterday it's been like 90 degrees or higher. And, look, there are places in Texas I like. There are people in Texas I like. And the longer I'm gone, the more positive things I have to say about Texas. Not everything's bad about Texas. It just wasn't for me. But, it is for some people. And I like Mineral Wells. I lived there for a year. And I like the Piney Woods. The thing is, Texas is hot. So this book may be useful to you. Up here, our summers do get hot. You'd be surprised. I mean, we've hit the century mark up here. And it gets humid. Very humid in the summer. In the winter, all that moisture dries up. It freezes up. So, anyway, so what the author, see if I can show you the author's name. There's a picture of her on the back. And anyway, what she said in her book, Poverty Prepping, just put aside some money each month and buy some canned food. Just make sure you have a way to open it. Make sure you have a can opener. Like a little small can opener, like a P38 or P51, like I just showed you. Or just showed you a few minutes ago. And this little thing folds down. And make sure you have it available. You can make jarred food that's dry, but you'd have to add water to it. Now up here we have access to water. I mean, we have plenty of rivers and streams and lakes and ponds. It's really moist up here, really wet. But, I lived in Texas for 40 years. And you just don't have that quick, easy access to that amount of water. So you're probably not really going to want a lot of dried food items. I don't know what the price would be in a place like Texas, but there's a grocery store up here called Market Basket, and they have gallon-size bottles of water for 50 cents each. Well, buy 2 gallons a month. Yeah, it's going to take a while for all that to add up, but at least you have something. One thing on prepping, I would never recommend bartering, trading, selling your guns or ammunition. Let's say you have plenty of ammunition. Don't get rid of it because, one, you may need it in the future, and two, it can be used against you. That's important. It can be used against you. I recommend buying guns at gun shows or from a friend or family member, something like that, instead of going through the whole rigmarole of, I mean, you're still doing it legally. I'm not saying do it illegally. It's easier. If you could learn a martial art, that can be helpful. Some martial arts aren't that good. I would suggest Arnis, American Kempo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But anyway, so that's my recommendation. I guess the main point is you put $10, $20 aside each month and buy canned food. And don't use that canned food unless you absolutely have to. Now, I wound up having to use it for a while. And so now I'm in the process where I have to build it back up. So anyway,